This is the Gyroshoes Electric Scooter, the C1S in dark black, with a clean step-through frame, big 12-inch air-filled tires, a cushy adjustable saddle, a wide 9.5-inch deck, and two practical baskets that make it look more like a compact utility ride than a typical stand-up scooter. The handlebar folds at the stem, the metal frame feels stout, and the rear basket sits neatly behind the seat so you can stash a lock or small bag without crowding your legs. The front basket is the star for everyday errands, and the deck gives plenty of room to plant your feet or, if you're careful, keep a small pet settled between your legs with the harness. From my experience, setup is straightforward. The basics are exactly what I want for a daily runabout. A 550W motor that gets up to about 18.6 miles per hour in spec, dual disc brakes that bite predictably, and bright lights front and rear so cars notice you. The latch that keeps the stem from unlocking mid-ride clicks with a satisfying snap, and that extra safety step calms the mind when you're rolling over rough patches. The LCD is simple and readable, showing speed, battery bars, and mileage. In direct sun, it washes a bit, but I can still check my speed with a quick glance. I like that it's UL 2272 certified, which in plain language means the electrical system and battery pack meet a recognized safety standard and have been tested for things like short circuits and thermal stability. That matters when you charge indoors. Key features that stand out in daily use are the seated comfort, the cargo capacity, and the stable ride at neighborhood speeds. The seat is soft and breathable, and the post height adjusts easily. I'm average height, and I can sit upright without my knees feeling cramped. The deck is wide enough that I don't have to fuss with foot placement. With the tires being pneumatic, they absorb a lot of chatter from cracked pavement, boardwalk planks, and brick paths. There's no heavy-duty suspension under there, so a pothole still feels like a pothole, but the combination of the big 12-inch tires and the balanced weight keeps things from feeling twitchy. The scooter supports up to about 265 pounds, and the chassis doesn't flex or creak when I load the baskets. On performance, I'll keep it real. I'm around 160 pounds, and on flat ground, I've clocked right around 19 miles per hour by GPS, which lines up with the claimed top speed. It's quick enough to keep up with city bike lanes and neighborhood traffic without feeling sketchy. On climbs, it holds a decent pace for its class. Moderate hills are fine, and on steeper grades, I see about 10 miles per hour while seated. If you're heavier or carrying a lot of cargo, expect speeds to dip on hills. That's normal for a 36-volt, 550-watt setup. Range depends on how you ride. The claim is up to 15 to 20 miles. Riding mostly at higher speeds with stop-and-go errands, I've been getting around 12 to 15 miles before I want to recharge. If I back off to a steady cruise and keep loads light, stretching into the high teens is realistic. Cold weather, hills, and constant full throttle will shorten that. That's just how small EVs behave. The faster you go and the more weight you move, the quicker you drain the battery. Braking is the part I care about most, and the dual discs deliver. You get a firm lever feel, and the scooter stops straight without drama. For new riders, dual disc just means there are brake rotors squeezing at the wheels, similar to a bicycle disc brake, which gives you reliable stopping even when it's a bit wet. The lighting helps too. The headlight is bright enough for neighborhood rides, and the rear light flashes when you brake, which is a small touch that makes a big difference. What surprised me most is how convenient the storage is. I can toss a 12-pack of seltzer and a bag of groceries in the front basket and still have room for odds and ends. It's perfect for quick grocery runs, campus commuting, or cruising to the beach with a small cooler and a folding chair. From my experience, the scooter doesn't get unsettled by the extra weight as long as you pack evenly and keep heavy items low. If you're thinking about riding with a small dog, the wide deck and seated posture make it realistic, but please use a proper harness and ride conservatively. Handling is stable once you get the hang of leaning your upper body and looking through turns. Tight, low-speed turns take a bit of practice because of the larger tires and the seated posture. But after a few rides, I found my rhythm. Air pressure matters a lot on this kind of tire. I check it regularly to keep the ride smooth and the steering predictable. If you're brand new to scooters, a short parking lot session to get used to throttle control and braking distance goes a long way. Portability is the big trade-off. At about 48.5 pounds, it folds neatly, but it isn't something I want to carry up more than one flight of stairs. Sliding it into a hatchback or trunk is easy, and the folded footprint is compact, so it's great for car-assisted trips. For bus racks in my city, the tire channels are a bit narrow, so I treat this as a ride-from-home or trunk-to-destination scooter, not a carry-on transit companion. The weight is also part of why it feels planted at speed, so there's a clear benefit when you're rolling. The controls are simple. There's push to start for safety, basic speed modes, and a cruise control that kicks in after holding a steady throttle for a few seconds. Personally, I wish I could toggle cruise control on and off because it's handy on long straight paths, but less useful in dense traffic. In my opinion, the firmware could give riders more control over little settings like that, but it's not a deal breaker. On durability, the metal frame and hardware feel solid, the cable routing is tidy, and the stem lock mechanism doesn't wobble once adjusted. I check the brake pad alignment and tire pressure every few rides, just like I would with a bike. The charger is straightforward, and a full top-up takes about 5 hours for me when the battery is fairly low. I like to charge after rides instead of letting it sit empty, which helps lithium batteries age better. It's perfect for riders who value comfort over standing for long stretches. If you've skipped e-scooters because you prefer a seat, this gives you that option without jumping to a full e-bike. The upright posture and the baskets change how I use it. I stop more, I pick up things on the way, and I take longer casual routes because sitting makes it easy to relax and look around. That social factor is real too. People ask about the baskets and the seat all the time, and it turns heads because it looks different from minimalist scooters. I'd recommend this for daily errands, short to medium commutes on mostly flat or moderately hilly routes, campus life, and anyone who wants a small seated vehicle that's easy to live with. If you live in a walk-up with multiple floors, or if your ride includes very steep hills with a heavier load, consider your needs carefully. The battery and motor are tuned for comfort and utility, not extreme performance or off-road trails. Keep expectations realistic on range and hill speed, and you'll be happy. In my opinion, the value here is the blend of comfort, storage, and safety. The UL 2272 certification brings peace of mind. The dual-disc brakes and bright lighting cover the ride safety basics. The 12-inch pneumatic tires and wide deck smooth out rough pavement, and the seat height range fits a lot of riders, roughly 5'1" to 6'1". The rated limit of 265 pounds aligns with how sturdy the frame feels. The scooter doesn't try to be an oversized speed machine. It tries to be your everyday runaround with enough power to feel lively and enough practicality to replace short car trips, and it succeeds at that. For my experience, the strongest day-to-day moments are simple ones. Grabbing groceries without a backpack, rolling to a park and actually having a place to put a blanket and snacks, cruising by the waterfront and not worrying about tired legs, bringing a small pet along for a gentle ride, or tossing the folded scooter in the trunk for a weekend outing. Those are the use cases that make this model shine. In conclusion, the Gyroshoes Electric Scooter with seat for adults, the C1S, nails the basics I care about. Comfortable seated riding, real storage that I actually use, predictable braking, steady speed for city flows, and a simple, safe electrical system. It's not featherweight and it's not a mountain goat, but it's a dependable, friendly companion for daily life. If that's what you're after, this is a smart pick. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more honest ride reviews and practical tips, and drop your questions or your own experiences in the comments so we can compare notes. Thank you for watching.